book, it was something to which I didn't know how to react. On the one hand, he had been my ideal, my hero in the profession. He had such a big name, and I still consider that I am a pygmy as compared to this giant of a lawyer in our society. And this hero of mine is asking me to write a foreword for his book. So I took time to digest this kind of an honor being bestowed upon me, and then I very happily and gratefully accepted this to write something. I did take some time to write it because you know that we are very busy judicially, but I did write a few pages which I would venture to read again at the end of my address. It's just 4 pages, and that would in fact sum up the book that is being launched today. The book itself, History of Pakistan Reinterpreted. I started thinking, what is history? I mean, history, if it is just the events, narration of events, then all that we needed was a book of clippings of newspapers, that this is what happened. So history is more than that. History is not just what happened in the past, but how people look at it. And this is where historians come in, and they interpret those events in their own ways. The perceptions are different. So these different perceptions change the very concept of what had happened in the past. History starts looking different to us when we read a different book about the same events. And this is exactly what Mr. Zafar has done, that he has tried to reinterpret the history of Pakistan. So that by itself means that there are many books, there are many perceptions of history about Pakistan, but always some new facts come in, some developments take place, and then you start looking at the same events differently. This is how history not only changes its color, its perception, its message, and this is the beauty of history, that there is nothing which is constant in history, because the same event, maybe 100 years from now, the same interpretation will undergo a change. Some more information will come to light, so the whole history will change. So that's why history is not just the events taking place or the narration of the events taking place, it's the way you look at those events. Presently we are passing through a stage where I think the first part of history, the event part, that by itself is becoming more and more difficult to discern and understand. We are passing through a phase where reality is created. I was talking to some American author, and he said that presently the sole superpower in the world, we are so powerful that we are not just creating history, we are creating reality. We say that this fact is like this, and the whole world has to believe it. Not that it believes it to be true, but it has to believe it. And we have many examples in the last decade or two where we were told that this is like this, and on the basis of that telling us, certain events took place which changed this world from what it used to be. And this is a dangerous stage as far as the historians are concerned, that not only that the events previously which used to provide them basis for giving their perception of it, those events were true, but now the future historian will also have to decide and to decipher whether the event actually was true or not. So the virtual reality is being created, and then a whole history will follow on the basis of this virtual world. So this is the dangerous part that I was worried about. And in the context of this book, this is about history of Pakistan, things that have already happened. After reading this book, I was concerned that when a future historian will write about our present times, what will be his perception of the present times? When we are passing through the present, we are going through a mill, everybody is so busy, the whole thing is being unfolded, so we don't have a proper perspective. But when we look back at things, the perspective is different. So how will a future historian write about the present times? And unfortunately, what he will write will not be very pleasant. In my position, it will be inappropriate for me to comment on the other walks of life in the present day situation. Speaking of our own legal profession, I remember that in the law colleges, we used to have the best lawyers sparing time from their busy professional engagements and coming to the law colleges to deliver lectures. Now, unfortunately, things are different. There are private law colleges in which the first year student, when he goes to the second year, he becomes the teacher of the first year, because some incentives are given to him that there will be fee waiver.
चीफ जस्टिस तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। इस बारे में आपको आगे चलकर भी अपडेट करेंगे। फिलहाल अहम खबर है कि नकियाल और जंडोर सेक्टर में